did want to kind of pick your brain on this. Do you agree with Melissa in the sense that she's looking at Dolores like you weren't even supposed to, like, you didn't get invited to her engagement party because Dina was there. And now that Dina drops out, you're going and you're going to be a bridesmaid. And Dolores was like, listen, it's her day. This isn't about me. If she asked me, I've been a longtime friend with her. I just want to be a good friend. So yes, I'm not going to make this about myself. Which way would you lean if you were in Dolores's position?
If I was in Dolores's position, I probably would do the same thing as her. Like, if anyone asked me to be a bridesmaid or be in the wedding, or asked me to be a bridesmaid, if anyone like asked me to be in the wedding or whatever, I would say yes. Like, I would be honored if anybody asked me. And I'm the type, like, if I really vibe with who's getting married, and maybe I don't get along best with everybody else, like, I would still do it, mainly because, like, you're trusting me to be part of your wedding day, and like, you want me to be part of the celebration, and that's like a big deal to you. So I would do it, despite the fact how it might look to other people. Like, if this person is getting married and they want me to be standing up there with them, like, of course I'll say yes.
See, you're a better person than me because when people ask me to go to their weddings, I'm like, like, do I have, that's a whole day. Sometimes this is travel.
Yeah.
Can you send me your Amazon wish list and I will pick something that's cute under 50 and I will send it to you. No, I'm being an asshole. I'm totally just kidding. But no, it's a weird situation. Someone told me when I did my Margaret Josephs interview that I had to take down, but no, I did not get a cease and desist, just to say that for the 500th millionth time. I keep getting asked that literally, and I've said this so many times. Oh, the new one is, Ricky, I got a nose job. But I mean, we should all just get a nose job. But I didn't. My thing here is, do you think that Jennifer Aiden and Dolores in this wedding special, like, will these women get paid for their time being a part of the wedding special, or will all of that money primarily be put into making the wedding an extravaganza, the production of it all, and really just putting the money towards Teresa and Louis?
That's a good question. I'm honestly not too sure how, like, the cards fall when it comes to who gets paid to be part of the specials and whatnot. I assumed, because this special is still technically part of like the Real Housewives of New Jersey, like, I would assume the cast was getting paid for it, but maybe I'm wrong. Like, I just assume, like, if it's still part of this, because it's still airing like part of the season, right? Like, it's like after the finale or something like that, or is it airing like after the reunion?
No, I think it's airing before the reunion. Yeah,
Okay.
because it's airing in May.
Okay. So then if it's technically part of the season, right? Like, I would assume that the cast is just getting paid, like if you showed up to film for the episode, right? Because these housewives are paid per episode, right?
Well, it depends. Sometimes it depends how they do it. Like, for the housewives, they could be, well, it's different because Vanderpump Rules, they do a day rate and a salary. No, they all get salaried. They get salaried, and then the friends of, they get day rates.
Okay, gotcha. So then I would assume that they were getting paid no matter what. If they were bridesmaids or not, I would assume they would have just been paid just because it's part of the season. So it's maybe like just part of their contract or something. Like, I don't really know how it's different when it's just a special. But given the fact that it's part of the actual season and not like totally standalone, airing at a completely different time than like the season's airing, I would assume they would have just been paid no matter what. That's just me, though. I'm just guessing.
Can you imagine, like, Teresa, when she was talking to me for that whole interview thing, she was telling me, she's like, it's going to be the best home video and I can't wait. And I'm like, producers are going to sneak a shot in there of Joe and Melissa talking about the wedding, talking about how shitty they feel about this. So that's also going to make your home video, by the way. Like, your wedding special, they 1,000,000% are going to add Joe and Melissa into it. Somehow, some way. This will happen.
Oh my gosh. Well, especially if it's airing before the reunion. Oh, of course, because that's what's going to lead us into the reunion, which they're filming next week, by the way. I cannot wait for this reunion. That's going to be nuts. The fact that we're getting Vanderpump Rules reunion and then Jersey reunion right after. I mean, we're being blessed, Adam.
I know. You're right. Okay. So now getting back to the house, because we know that we have the Turkish reader. What were your thoughts? Was this a setup or are you buying it? Because she hit a lot of nails on the heads, from endorsements to you have a friend that stabbed you in the back whose name starts with an L to I have a feeling that you're fighting with your brother and it's over a wedding and you're not going to the wedding. And I'm like, okay, at this point, The only one that was pretty general was the one that came with Dolores. Like, obviously, you walk into her house. Hi, is this your house? Are you the homeowner? Yeah, actually, I'm not. This is my boyfriend, Polly. I'm Dolores. Nice to meet you. Set up wherever you want. So first thing that clicks is like, oh, okay, boyfriend Polly. This is his house. His house is James Bond house. They seem happy together. Okay, I got your reading, girl. You want a ring? Next one. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so this is my point of view on this. So
Okay.
I've actually been to a medium before and it was unintentional. I actually interviewed, his name is, oh my God, Matt. No, Matt. He's super well known.
Tyler?
Oh my gosh, I'm going to forget. Matt Frazier. Matt Frazier is his name.
Oh, yes, from Jersey.
Yes, super well-known medium, right? So he was actually doing a Vegas show here, and I was able to interview him. I literally interviewed him over Zoom, right? So we're doing this Zoom interview, and the publicist had told me ahead of time, like, if you want a reading from him, like, just ask at the end of the interview, and he'll read you. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, I had never been to a medium before. So we do the interview. He was super lovely. And then I asked at the end, like, do you see anything around me? Like, blah, blah, blah. And he gave me this epic reading, like all these people that had passed recently in my life, and I was able to like talk, hear what they had to say through him, and I was blown away because like you wouldn't know any of that stuff just like on my Instagram or my social media. Like I'm not that super public. So the things that he was bringing up, I was blown away. And especially because we were on Zoom, we weren't even in person. So I was like, this is crazy. So up to that point, I was a little bit of a skeptic. But after that, I was like, oh my gosh, like these people are the real deal. Just, as long as you go to legit ones, like I do think there's a lot of fake ones out there. But someone like Matt is the real deal, right? But then I'm watching this episode. So I'm going into it. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe she'll get a couple things. Girl, the things that she's bringing up are way too specific. And this is all in a coffee cup. I'm like, girl, please. Like, this is craziness. And especially when you add on to the fact that the cameras are there, I would 100% believe that Jennifer gave her a heads up ahead of time. Plus, Jennifer's acting skills in that moment were not the best, mama.
I love when she's looking and Jackie's just dying, laughing her ass off. And she's like, this is too specific. And she's like, she's a fucking psychic, you idiot. And it's like, okay, now this is like when you catch somebody when they start getting aggressively like defensive. That's like, those are the best moments. Especially, I love like me and my friends, we just put everything out on the line. And if somebody kind of feels like they get like louder, I'm like, bitch, I can totally read through this. Like you're lying through just own it. Just put it out on the table because this is not, let's just call this what it was. It was a great attempt, but you didn't land the plane. You crashed that bitch. You did not land the plane. It's not within reason. I don't know what you're trying to do here. But to your point too, do you remember, I don't know, it wasn't last season, it was the season before. Do you remember the medium that came on, Gina Marie? And she did like a reading at Teresa's house?
And did she make Dolores cry because the dogs?
Yes.
Yes, I do.
She came on and now she's a friend of mine, but she did a reading. She's booked out for 2 years.
Yeah.
And she's all over TV, everything. And she came on and she was telling me so many specific details. And my best friend just passed away. And she brought this up, which you would have known from my Instagram, but she said, I'm laughing because she's showing me her pink Converse and you wrote on her Converse. And she said that she still is pissed off about that. And I'm like, well, because she threw my jacket away and I hated those Converse. And I'm like, nobody would know that, Yeah. So it really is wild. But okay, Jennifer Aiden, we tried. Now, yes. Last but not least, we have someone who wanted to be vindicated. Danielle came with a hidden agenda. I don't actually think it was hidden at all. She came with an agenda and she wanted to call shit out. You said that you feel like what Rachel did was not that bad. My personal opinion here, and then I want to pick your brain, is Rachel, yes, repeated something from a conversation. Like Danielle said, it was coffee talk, right? Mm. She repeated the conversation to her friend, Margaret. Well, one, that's kind of an insult to Danielle because Danielle thought she was your friend too, one. But two, like Rachel said, I didn't enhance that. I didn't add anything to it. I literally just took your words verbatim and brought them right back. But on Danielle's side, she's like, right, but that was a you and I conversation. Why would you? That just makes me not trust you because the only reason you would have brought that back was to cause trouble. What do you think?